Hello and welcome to another video here on Chaotic. My name is Sam, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a look and showcasing all the new content now available in Fortnite Battle Royale from today, including a new location on the map, a brand new weapon, and much more. This being my first ever Fortnite video on my channel, but I play a lot of Fortnite and I mostly live stream it over on my Facebook page. If you don't already follow me over there, I'd recommend doing so. There's a link in the description and it's being displayed on screen right now, facebook.com/chaotic. And of course, if you guys want to, you can play with me on stream as well, because I play with my viewers. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead then and jump straight into things and start things off with the brand new map location. So this being a football or a soccer stadium located in the northern west area of the map, just north of Pleasant Park, in between Junk Junction and the motel. Now, as far as I'm aware of, this new soccer stadium hasn't got an official name on the map, which I think is pretty surprising, seeing that it is a pretty sizable location, as you can see if you take a look at this screenshot of the map. So I guess we'll refer to this as the soccer stadium or the open soccer stadium, seeing this is the second one that we now have in game, with it being an enclosed or a roofed version further south, just west of Tilted Towers. But I think it's safe to say that this stadium is by far the biggest. The pitch area is certainly larger, plus of course we have the standing and seating areas surrounding the pitch too, plus everything else that's around here also. It's definitely a cool location, and one which over the next few days will be very popular, with it being a new location. You'll see loads and loads of players heading in this direction to take a look at the area. But I don't think it'll become the new Tilted Towers anytime soon. Although yes, there's plenty of loot here, you'll find most of it is mostly floor items, stuff that are standard, and green items, with the occasional blue and purple scattered around. So although yes, landing in this location you can get yourself a decent setup, there won't be anything too impressive here that really gets you set up for the full game. Or at least that's what I found when I landed here a few times this morning during my live stream. Now, in the terms of chests, yes, there are various chests you can find dotted around the stadium, mostly in amongst the stands and under them in various rooms you can also find in the stadium, but from what I found, there weren't really too many. Maybe as few as 4 or 5, which may sound impressive, but it really isn't given the size of the stadium itself and the amount of people landing here at the moment, with it being a new location. But give it a few days or so, allow the newness and the hype to wear off, and you'll find this location will become a lot less popular, with a lot less people dropping in this location. But this though isn't because this location isn't good, it's just not quite as good as some of the other locations we already have in game. But I guess it all comes down to what you're looking for from a location when you drop there. Are you looking for a location where you can spawn in and get as many quick and easy kills as possible as soon as you land, or are you looking for a quiet start to set yourself up for the rest of the game to get all the best weapons and all the materials you're going to need later on? Well, at the moment it's more so the first than the second, with a good percentage of players in each game landing here with it being a new location. So if you want to pick up yourself some easy and quick kills early on into a game, this is definitely a location I'd recommend going to. But like I said, this location isn't anything too special, so give it a few days or so and allow the newness to wear off, and once the hype dies down, you'll find very few people dropping here at all. So it could be a good location to have a quiet start and get yourself some good loot to get started. One thing I will say though about this location, or at least the positioning of this location, I feel like what Epic are trying to do is encourage more players to use this area of the map. This northern west area is typically very quiet and unused, with areas like Junk Junction and the motel not being very popular. But by positioning this in between those two locations, it will encourage more players to use this area and visit this part of the map, which most players wouldn't do in a typical game. Anyway, so that's a quick overview then of this new location, the soccer stadium in Fortnite Battle Royale. Before we jump into the rest of the video, I want you guys to let me know right now in the comment section, what do you think of this new location? Yes, you like it, it's good, or no, it's not one for you, you won't be dropping here very often. So go ahead and let me know right now very quickly by leaving a comment on this video. Okay then, so let's move on then to the next bit of new content, also available from today in Fortnite Battle Royale, that being a brand new weapon, which as you can see in the gameplay is named the Thermal Scoped Assault Rifle. It quite literally is an assault rifle with a thermal scope, which means when you look down the scope, enemies will show up as a heat signature no matter how far away they are. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't mean you can see through walls and see through items with it, so if they're behind a rock or behind a tree, you won't be able to see them through that. But as long as the item is not completely solid, so for example, the fence in front of me has holes in it, you'll be able to see them through that, and the person will show up as a yellowy orange signature. But interestingly enough, this thermal scoped assault rifle doesn't just seek out enemies, it can also see chests, ammo boxes, supply drops, and much more when you aim down the scope. It will also show those as heat signatures on the scope, which is also pretty cool and means you can scope out items like chests in the distance. Now, as you can see, and as to be expected, this thermal scoped assault rifle uses medium bullets and does 36 to 37 base damage. But just like the scoped assault rifle has a slower fire rate than a standard assault rifle, but it also has an even slower fire rate than the scoped assault rifle also. In fact, its rate of fire is pretty slow. But what you'll also find as well, and you can also sort of see in this gameplay, is its accuracy doesn't seem very spot on either. Now, I'm not saying I have the aim and the accuracy of a pro, I certainly don't. I have very bad aim, in fact, as I'm sure you guys know if you watch me on my Facebook live streams, but I just found it very difficult to use, and I couldn't really figure out the best way to use it. The shots fire supposedly straight like the scope rifle, but as you can see, even when I have my crosshairs lined up perfectly on someone standing still, they don't take any damage whatsoever when I shoot at them. So I'm not really too sure what's going on with the weapon. Maybe I am just really bad at this game, who knows? But I really do like the thermal scope feature, and the fact it also has the ability to scope out things like chests, loot boxes, supply drops, and much more. Now, this weapon is available as a purple and a gold item, so it can be quite difficult to find in regular matches, but there's a new sniper mode named Sniper Shootout V3 where you can find this pretty easily if you want to try this new weapon out. Otherwise, it can be found in regular Battle Royale matches on the floor, in chests, and in supply drops. Now finally, one or two other changes and additions worth noting in this video. Firstly, jetpacks are no longer available in-game. Epic Games have removed them from Fortnite, which means you can no longer find them in Battle Royales, which I know many of you will be very happy to hear. Although it was a very cool feature and I personally liked them, it did give the user an unfair advantage, but after all, it was only intended to be a limited time item and its time is now up. The Battle Bus has also undergone some new changes as well, which you'll notice when you first spawn into a game today in Fortnite. The Battle Bus now has animating parts such as a fan or a turbine on the side of the bus, as you can see in the gameplay, and there are also flashing lights from the bus as well in the windows, as you can see, as if there's a party inside. And finally, although I haven't got any gameplay of this to share with you guys, you can now place the bounce pads on sloped surfaces, including your own stairways, slope roofs, and places like that, which means you can now bounce in a different direction, whereas previously you could only place them on walls. Anyway, so there we go then guys. With that being said then, that is pretty much it then for today's Fortnite video. Of course, I want to get your thoughts and feelings on all the new changes and additions now available from today in Fortnite Battle Royale. If you guys could also drop a like on this video too, it would of course be greatly appreciated and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest gaming news. So with that being said, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.